Well, it's time again to look at 6 new books for the month of March, and these you really do not want to miss. Hi everyone, welcome back to Wilde Reads, welcome back to another video. I've got 6 more books for you to salivate over, for you to get really excited about. There are some absolutely brilliant titles coming out in the month of March. I've got 6 brand new ones for you. Also, just a couple of honorary mentions, because there are a couple of books coming out now. Well, one of them's already out, and one of them is an old title that's going to be reissued because it's got a rather special anniversary. So the one that's already out is the 20th anniversary edition of Sarah Walters' Tipping the Velvet. This comes in a brand new, I think it's a cloth bound cover. It looks absolutely beautiful. It's supposed to be one of her best books, so check that one out. There's a link for you to investigate further in the show notes down below this video. And also, it's 80 years since Rebecca from Daphne du Maurier was published. Now, I only got round to reading Rebecca last year, and I absolutely loved it. Had no hesitation in giving it 5 stars. And Virago have brought out a special 80th edition, 80th anniversary edition of Rebecca. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And also, so these 2 books I've already mentioned, and the 6 books that I'm due to mention, you will find links to in the show notes right down there. So, should we crack on with the new books? Because there are 6 to get through, as the title of the video would suggest. This is 6 new books to look out for in March. There are some brilliant ones, absolutely fantastic books here. So the first one is the second novel from Joseph Knox. I'm so excited about this book because I absolutely loved his first book. So the first book, Sirens, which has recently come out in paperback, I know many of you have enjoyed. So the second book is due out on the 8th of March, and it's the second book featuring the character Aidan Watts. So The Smalley Man is obviously the second book to feature Joseph Knox's main character, Aidan Watts, and I absolutely loved Sirens. I thought it was a gritty, just a new kind of sort of urban noir, and it's just, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. From the best-selling author of Sirens, Detective Aidan Watts is on the hunt to find the identity of the Smiling Man. Disconnected from his history and careless of his future, Detective Aidan Watts has resigned himself to the night shift. An endless cycle of meaningless emergency calls and lonely dead ends, until he and his partner, Detective Inspector Peter Sutcliffe, are summoned to the Palace, a vast disused hotel in the centre of a restless, simmering city. There they find the body of a man, and he's dead, but he's smiling. The tags have been removed from the man's clothes, his teeth filed down and replaced. Even his fingertips are not his own. Only a patch sewn into the inside of his trousers gives any indication as to who he was and the desperate last act of his life. But even as Waits put together the pieces of this stranger's life, someone is sifting through the shards of his own. When the mysterious fires, anonymous phone calls and outright threats escalate, he realises that a ghost from his own past haunts his every move. And to discover the Smiling Man's identity, he must finally confront his own. I am so excited about this book. So this is published, as the first book, Sirens was, this is published by Doubleday, and it's out on the 8th of March. So the second book I want to talk to you today, I have got a proof copy of, and this is Sal. This is a debut novel published by Mick Kitson. It's published by Canongate, and it is out on the 1st of March 2018. I absolutely adored this book. Absolutely brilliant. It's about 2 sisters who, escaping some rather horrific abuse at home, they, in fact, do you know what? I always find it really difficult with saying, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll read you the blurb. I always find it really difficult because I want to tell you so much about this book. I really do. But then I don't want to spoil it for you. And I don't know whether me telling you about it will just cross that line a little bit too much and spoil your enjoyment of the book, which I definitely don't want to do, because I guarantee you will love this book. Actually, I've said that. I'll rephrase that. I hope that you will love this book as much as I did. I'll read you the back. Sal planned it for almost a year before they ran. She nicked an ordnance survey map from the school library. She bought a compass, a Bear Grylls knife, waterproofs and a first aid kit from Amazon using credit cards she'd robbed. She'd read the SAS survival handbook and watched loads of YouTube videos. And now Sal knows a lot of stuff, like how to build a shelter and start a fire, how to estimate distances, snare rabbits and shoot an air gun, and how to protect her sister, Pippa, because Pippa is 10, which is how old Sal was when Robert started on her. As I said, I think I devoured this in like one night. It's not very big. So this is out in hardback from Canongate on the 1st of March. I very much recommend that you go and buy this book. You will not be disappointed. It is superb. Okay, book number 3 that I've got for you is The Western Wind by Samantha Harvey. This is published by Jonathan Cape and it is out. When is it out? Let's consult my paperwork. This is out also on the 1st of March. So published by Jonathan Cape. And it says here, now, you may not be familiar with Samantha Harvey, but she's been around for some while. And she's had an awful lot of literary prize nominations. So, for an author who has appeared on the long lists of the Man Booker Prize and the Bailey's Prize and the shortlist of the James Tate Black Award, the Orange Prize and the Guardian First Book Award, Samantha Harvey is not half as well known as she should be. So, this is her new book. This is The Western Wind, 15th century Oakham in Somerset. A tiny village cut off by a big river with no bridge. When a man is swept away by the river in the early hours of Shrove Saturday, an explanation has to be found. Accident, suicide or murder. The village priest, John Reeve, is privy to many secrets in his role as confessor, but will he be able to unravel what happened to the victim, Thomas Newham, the wealthiest, most capable and industrious man in the village, and what will happen if he can't? Moving back in time towards the moment of John Newham's death, the story is related by Reeve, an extraordinary creation, a patient shepherd to his wayward flock, and a man with secrets of his own to keep. Through his eyes and his indelible voice, Harvey creates a medieval world entirely tangible in its immediacy. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds absolutely fantastic to me. And another one, I think I'm gonna be getting all of these on this list for next month, because they do sound absolutely fantastic. So the fourth one, book number 4 for you of new fiction to come out next month, is by an author that I have got a lot of books on, Philip Hensher, and he's back. You may remember, I've got a few of his books actually, and I think the last one I read, well, it might have been The Northern Clemency. So Philip Hensher is back with a brand new book called The Friendly Ones. This is published by Fourth Estate and it will be out on the 8th of March. And the blurb is, on a warm Sunday afternoon, Nazia and Sharif are preparing for a family barbecue. They are in the house in Sheffield that will do for the rest of their lives. In the garden next door is a retired doctor whose 4 children have long since left home. When the shadow of death passes over Nazia and Sharif's party, Dr. Spinster's actions are going to bring the 2 families together for decades to come. The Friendly Ones is about 2 families. In it, people with very different histories can fit together and redeem each other. One is a large and loosely connected family who have come to England from the subcontinent in fits and starts, brought to England by education and economic possibilities, or driven away from their native country by war, murder, crime and brutal oppression, things their new neighbours know nothing about. At the start of their story is betrayal and public shame, the secret wound that overshadows the spinsters. Their neighbours next door is of a different kind. Leo, the eldest son, running away from Oxford University aged 18. How do you put these things right in England now? Spanning decades and with a big and beautifully drawn cast of characters, all making their different ways toward lives that make sense. The Friendly Ones, Philip Hensch's moving and timely new novel, shows what a nation is made of, how the legacies of our history can be mastered by the decision to know something about people who are not like us. Again, every time I read a blurb on a Philip Hensch novel, I instantly want to go out and buy it straight away. So the next book we have for you is a book that I've seen doing the rounds on BookTube already, especially as I believe this one is already available over in the States. This is Red Clocks by Lenny Zumas on the 8th, I think it's out on the 8th of March. Let me just have a look. Yes, this is published on the 8th of March by Borough Press. It looks absolutely brilliant. So in this ferociously imaginative novel, abortion is once again illegal in America. In vitro fertilisation is banned, and the Personhood Amendment grants rights of life, liberty and property to every embryo. In a small Oregon fishing town, 5 very different women navigate through these new barriers. Roe, a single high school teacher, is trying to have a baby on her own, whilst also writing a biography of a little-known 19th century female polar explorer. Susan is a frustrated mother of 2 trapped in a crumbling marriage. Mattie is the adopted daughter of doting parents and one of Roe's best students, who finds herself pregnant with nowhere to turn. Red Clocks is at once a riveting drama whose mysteries unfold with magnetic energy, and a shattering novel of ideas with the verve of Naomi Alderman's The Power and the brilliance of The Handmaid's Tale. Lenny Zumas' incredible new novel is fierce, fearless and frighteningly plausible. So I think this book's going to be absolutely huge when it comes out over here. The Power did very well. The Handmaid's Tale, again helped by the TV adaptation as well, is also sold very well recently. I think this is going to ride that particular wave and sell in huge numbers, and rightly so, because it sounds a very, very good book. So the last one is for those of you that have liked, so the last book I've got for you is for those of you who are fans of Claire Mackintosh. Now, Claire Mackintosh has had 2 super huge hits already, with I See You and I Let You Go. This is her 3rd novel, and this is called Let Me Lie, published by Sphere. This is also out on the 8th of March. Okay, the police say it was suicide. Anna says it was murder. They're both wrong. 1 year ago, Caroline Johnson chose to end her life brutally, a shocking suicide planned to match that of her husband just months before. Their daughter Anna has struggled to come to terms with their loss ever since. Now with a young baby of her own, Anna misses her mother more than ever and starts to ask questions about her parents' deaths. But by digging up the past, is she putting her future in danger? Sometimes it's safer to just let things lie. The stunning, twisty new psychological thriller from the #1 bestseller Claire Mackintosh, author of I Let You Go and I See You. So that again looks absolutely brilliant, and I love a Claire Mackintosh novel. I've read both of her previous novels and they've been damn good. And that brings us to the end of this edition of 6 books. I will be back with, as I did last month, because it proved quite popular, because obviously these are all hardback books coming out, so I will be back with a paperback edition of 6 new books. So there'll be 6 new books to look out for in March. The paperback edition, that will be coming in the next week or so, so look out for that one. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you very much for watching. Whatever you're doing this week, enjoy your books, and I'll see you next time for another BookTube video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.